welcome back to J Flowers headquarters here in Pattaya in Thailand. What I thought I'd do is not so much of a what's in my case, but what is in pool players' cases around the world. You know, what essential equipment do pool players actually need now in their bags. Some of this, of course, is from my bag, but there's some stuff that I don't use, some stuff I disagree with, to be honest. But I mean, I couldn't believe that people actually wore gloves, you know. But I think I've just finished watching the UK Open, and I think everyone in that tournament wore a glove, even the snooker players. So, you know, consistency, especially with the hot atmosphere that there was in the arena. There was no air conditioning apparently, so these gloves will have come in very, very handy to get that consistency of queuing across the bridge. So who am I to say, you know, big market now. This is the Q Armour one. Where do we want to go next? Real pet hate of mine is these earphones, these earpods that some people use for when they're practicing. They're banned in big tournaments, of course. I personally don't consider them a help, if I'm really honest. I think that you need to be able to play in all different kinds of atmospheres, and creating a false one maybe, you know, isn't such a great idea, especially as, you know, you need to really practice the way that you're going to play in a tournament. Try and match those conditions as near as possible. I know a lot of pros use them when they're practicing, but have got nothing going on in the earphones. It's just purely, some have even told me that they use them so that, you know, fans don't approach them while they're playing, because they know that the earphones are in, they're practicing, they're serious practicing. So I guess there is a use for those. Another pet hate of mine, but of course, I mean, that's why I don't wear a hat, because I look so stupid in them. Even worse is when they're worn that way round. But that's kind of the old school, you know, the old hustlers. It's part of their kind of armour. Talking of armour, the essential cloth. This is a Q Armour one. Wipe your hands on one side, clean your cue on the other. Just go to the cues very, very quickly. This is what cues I'm playing with at the moment. This is the Jason Shaw butt, along with the 12.5 carbon fibre SMO shaft. This is the loaded brake cue. Then I've got the RPG. This has got the grip on it. I'm not a big fan of the grip, but it's the only one I could get at the time. So the RPG jump cue, very, very good jump cue for somebody that can't really jump. I mean, my name's White. This white man seriously cannot jump. But with this, it's pretty easy, to be honest. And then other shafts that I've got in my bag include the wood SMO with the internal carbon fibre. I know Jason Shaw's using this one. He started using it during the Mosconi last year and still using it. This is the SMO 11.8, which I sometimes use as well, especially when I'm cueing well. When I'm hitting the ball well, I kind of like to switch to this. Just get that little bit of extra spin and more draw. And this is just a classic SMO as well. Sorry, not SMO, just a classic shaft. Aloysius Schap never leaves home without one of these. It is a weight set. I know he's very famous for changing the weight in his cue halfway through a match even at sometimes. There's lovely chalk holder from J Flowers. Now these, I don't know if you can see this on camera, But these really are like the proverbial milk bottle top. They are absolutely massive. They're about 6 mil in thickness. Always got to have a piece of town chalk in your armour. There's your cue rollers, just to roll your shaft on, and your butt, just to make sure that it's nice and straight. Wouldn't go anywhere without some spare tips. These are the heat tips from town. Soft, medium and hard, and a spare brake jump tip as well, just in case you have a bit of an accident halfway through a match. And this very, very interesting new tool, which I'm going to talk about in my next video, because we're going to have a local coach from Thailand, John Disney, who actually uses this. It's the Kelly Fisher Quickfire shot alignment aid. So we're going to talk a little bit about that in the next video. And of course, you can't go anywhere without your tip tool. You need to do a bit of shaping, a little bit of roughing up. You've got to have that in your armour as well. And of course, the extension. I'm not a big fan of extensions, to be totally honest. I'd rather use the bridge, which brings me nicely to this one. New on the market. Take your own bridge, your own rest in your bag as well. Comes with different heads available. You can just spin off that head, put another head on, whether it's the Spider to get over higher balls. So it's a nice little tool, that. I know some people carry the heads in their bag anyway. I know Kelly Fisher's got one in her bag, her own little X-Rest, which resembles more of the snooker type that, you know, snooker players use. So that basically is what is in my bag, but it'd be interesting to find out if I've actually forgotten anything. Is there anything that you carry in your bag which I haven't got here? Maybe it's a little lucky charm or something. I'm not very superstitious, so I don't really carry any like lucky charms as such. Hope you've enjoyed this little video, and watch out for the next one. The next one's going to be really, really good, because I'm going to talk about all my anguishes on the pool table, all my struggles with my cue action, with my mind. Lots of interesting stuff more to come on my Facebook page. Thanks for watching, guys, and let me know, don't forget, in the comments what you've got in your bag which I don't carry with me. Let me know. Cheers.